Mario. It's the summary for the Nintendo Direct for June 21st of 2023. A Direct capitalized with the announcement of 5 separate Mario game announcements, of which 2 remakes and 3 new titles. The main announcement being Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the first 2D Mario to not be in the new franchise of games for a very long time. And it looks pretty good, with a new 2.5D aesthetic and much more vibrant character designs and expressions. Also a talking flower. As well as the new Wonder Flower, as the name suggests, causing all sorts of different things to the level around you. Also, Daisy is playable, making its release, which is on the same day as Spider-Man 2, the most hyped event in what is overall a really good Nintendo Direct for Mario fans. As the set of first-party Nintendo announcements today basically fully ends at 5 Mario games, a Zelda figurine, Pikmin, Pokemon, if you can even count that, and a Splatfest, which got less screen time than Arkham Trilogy. Haven't quite seen a full Direct, please fans of a franchise as much as I've seen this one. I remember one time fans of Atlas getting really nicely fed during a Nintendo Direct mini partner showcase, but that's about it. But leaving anyone who isn't a Mario fan to be left with not much to talk about. If you are a Pokemon fan, however, you do have something to talk about.
The name's Pikachu, and I'm what you might call...
The announcement of Detective Pikachu Returns along with Scarlet and Violet DLC can certainly bring discussion within Pokemon fans. Personally, I'm not too convinced. The graphics for Detective Pikachu Returns feels oddly dated, as a lot of it has that slight blur and not the HD feel that you would get out of an actual 3DS like the first game was from. Maybe that's on purpose, but when you have the capabilities of the Nintendo Switch, I would expect something a little bit better looking than a barely upscaled 3DS game graphically. However, Nintendo really had to stack up, and they did, for some not great third-party offerings in this Direct. A lot of this stuff was already shown or seen in things prior. For example, Persona 5 Tactica was on the Xbox Showcase, Sonic Superstars was on the Summer Game Fest, and Just Dance 2024 was on the Ubisoft Forward. Nintendo doesn't feel very good at choosing third-party games to feature in their Directs. We once again suffered the same fate of the farming simulators. 3 different games with farming as a displayed feature in them. And a lot of other games which just don't feel as exciting when they're next to similar games and or another Nintendo offering. Like, for real, I'm sorry, I can't tell you what Palia, Mythforce or Gloomhaven were after this Direct. Well, both Batman and Metal Gear got collections announced today. Good for them. I don't play either of those franchises, but I'm not the guy to get excited for re-releases of old games very often. If people want to play them, there's no harm. Square Enix, however, showed up today. Usually one of the biggest third parties for Nintendo anyway, and always has a lot of spotlight on Nintendo Directs. Today they were front and center with the remake of Super Mario RPG, which Nintendo seems to have finally been able to do, as in the past problems with the character of Geno seem to have existed. And also their classic pixel story fighting games announced. I swear there's one like every Direct. Pikmin fans, especially those without a Wii, which like, how are you a Pikmin fan if you don't have a Wii? Will be doing pretty well, with Pikmin 1 and 2 announced to be re-released for Switch. No remake here, just a simple re-release, which is a bit weird. I don't think these games fit a Switch aesthetic, but okay. Pikmin 4 also got a deeper dive with the introduction of the Glow Squid, allowing night traveling to be possible. Usually I give opinions, but here I don't have one. I've never played Pikmin. It's a bit hard to understand and I honestly still don't get it. I'll try eventually though. Oh yeah, by the way, Mario! We have not yet mentioned the other Mario announcements, like a Princess Peach starring game, which is interesting.
That's right.
Why does she turn into Elsa? Or Rosalina? Whatever fits your fancy. A WarioWare game where you use your real body to move around. I've always found this a good idea for a WarioWare game, and this looks fun. By the way, this game includes the first ever mention by Nintendo of Super Mario 64 DS in a new game in 19 years. That's crazy. Also, a remake of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. It's cool, but a very questionable game to be remaking. And there's already a Luigi's Mansion on the Switch, and this game wasn't very highly praised, so what? Look, there was a lot to talk about. Haven't even mentioned all of it. The Sonic Mania devs have made this game called like Penny's Big Breakaway, which reminds me a lot of Sackboy for some reason. There was a game that looks exactly like Overcooked, but cars. Mario and Rabbids is getting new DLC with Robot King Bob-omb. Vampire Survivors, which is like the 5th best game on Steam. What? Pigeons! The entire city of Seattle, and a new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC track including fabled Blooper Bleach. And yeah, this Nintendo Direct was, I think, objectively one of the better ones in terms of just how many first-party video game announcements Nintendo put out. Which, by the way, why did they not include Everybody Want to Switch? Like, they released that trailer 10 hours before the Direct. Were they, like, ashamed of the game? Why release it then? And for me, especially a Mario fan who owns all of the mainline games, this was one of the biggest Directs of all time. And definitely a 9 out of 10 in my book, certainly. Thanks for watching. See you at the Sonic Central.